Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new product review. We're going to be talking about Starfinder today. We recently reviewed Pathfinder. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out in the description, whichever direction I'm supposed to be pointing. I really do love reviewing Paizo products. They put so much effort into what they've put out here, and for about $40, it's worth it every time. I'm going to start with our floppy papers first. Paizo loves to put these at the front and says, "Stop, don't go until you read this." So I'm going to stop and not go until I read this. So what's in the box? It tells you, but I'll also have eyes so I can see. It lets you know that there's a solo and group adventure in here, which is cool, but also I have eyes and can read, so useless paper. This makes sense, advertising where you can buy the next product, but I will say it's all over the box as well. There's at least 4 or 5 different products being advertised when you buy this product. And of course you can find yourself to the Starfinder Society Club, where you can get yourself into games or forums to talk about Starfinder. We of course have our obligatory set of dice, just a black set, nothing special here. Kinda lazy to be honest, but at least they gave us 7. It would have been cool if they did it like in their other box where they gave you a different color for each one of the dice. Another thing in a bag you're gonna find are displays for all of the miniatures that are included in this box set, which is really cool and you won't see in most box sets. While we are on the topic of miniatures, I figure I'll crack these out right now. You've got so many different varieties of minis that you can use on your table. One of my favorites right here. If you couldn't see, that was the Steel Dragon. But I better quit playing with these unless I want to go get a bag, because I've almost popped like 3 or 4 of them out. And another thing to thank you for your purchase is the Munchkin Cards. This is something that's kind of unique, and I think that they should do this for all of their products. But either way, including stuff like the Munchkin Cards makes it really easy for me to get into something like that in the future. Another thing you're going to find in the box is these scorecards right here. This lets you know the action economy in the game and what are some of the things that you might be able to do during your turn. And it also lists some of the conditions so that way you don't have to do some of the guesswork as a DM. You can just hand them the condition card and say, "You're hampered, you're impaired, off-kiltered, staggered, unconscious." Any of those things perfectly described on these cards here. Getting started with your adventure is easier than ever with all of these pre-made character sheets. They're actually so well done too. They're whole pamphlets describing your character, their class, their motivations, everything like that. And the effort that gets put into these is amazing. Even if you don't run this adventure, it's still awesome to be able to pick up characters like that, or maybe even have a catalog of characters that you can just pull out and play. But that's not to say that character creation isn't important, and we've got 6 blank character sheets for you to do so. These things are well done and stylized in the Starfinder style. But if we're going to talk about making a character, that means we should probably get straight into the Hero's Handbook. And this thing is pretty cool because the very first, not the very first page, but the second page is a solo adventure. You don't have to know anything about this except for having a pen, paper, and your dice, and being able to sit down and read and go through this solo adventure. It teaches you how to play, and if you wanted to get your friends into Starfinder, you could just hand them the Hero's Handbook, and it would give them all the things they need to start, and maybe even tell you if they like Starfinder before you invest anymore. But aside from that, you're going to find the basics of play in this book right here. How to make your character, conditions, status effects. Try to think of this as a light version of the rules because a lot of things are more simplified, so that way you can just get up, go, and play. But if you do start down this Starfinder trail, you're going to find that there might be a few more nuanced things about the rules, so just make sure you look those over if you're accustomed to this rule set. Last but not least is the Game Master's Guide. We've got a awesome campaign laid out here. Try to think of it as your classic dungeon crawl, and at the end you're gonna fight that steel dragon I was talking about on that minis page. It's really cool to be able to go through this in a quick 1-session journey, and as the Game Master, when you get to go through all of these books, the artwork is awesome and keeps you enticed to read the entire time. I can't say enough about how well designed this box and these games are. And last but not least for what's in the box is going to be the map. They will of course give you the map set here, and this is the dungeon you're gonna be crawling in. In the Game Master's books, all of these dungeon rooms are clearly labeled what you're gonna be doing there and how to get out. Take you to the other side, you have a blank map that you can use for just about anything. And this actually extends far beyond Starfinder because you could use this for literally any game. So I always love when there's universal stuff in sets like this. As you probably would have guessed, Starfinder is very close to Pathfinder, made by the same company, but believe it or not, it's in the same timeline as well. Starfinder is just a long time into the future of the Pathfinder world, and the world is a vacant, desolate place. You only have one bastion left of humanity, and that's where your journey begins. I'll definitely let you know when you get into Starfinder, there's so many more classes, races, and options for you. So if you like anything in this, there's something expanded upon it in the further rules books. So why don't you give it a try? And if, for some reason you happen to really like space as your theme for TTRPGs, try considering some of these different TTRPGs. There's Eclipse Phase, where the human race has spread across the solar system, but it's kind of a post-apocalyptic spread. There's Traveler, where you become the space explorer, going from planet to planet, asteroid to asteroid, and discovering the greater star. There's even Numenaria, where you're actually still on Earth. It's not necessarily space travel, but it is sci-fi adventure, right on the planet, where you can discover ancient technology and mysterious artifacts. And we've actually even talked about this one before, that's Shadowrun. It's a cyberpunk-like futuristic game where it's kind of like a mafioso-style gameplay. If any of those might tickle your fancy, give them a try as well. Or maybe if you think to yourselves, I sure wish you would review X System, let me know in the comments because I can add it to the list. But that's everything in the Starfinder starter set. If you guys think this is a good deal, bad deal, what you think about this set, let me know down in the comments. I personally am going to have a lot of fun with it and can use it in a lot of different places. But for those who've been with the channel for a little while now, you'll notice that we got a box to open. And of course, as a Paizo product, I got to open up a Paizo box. Jeez, even the tape is better at Paizo. What do we got in this box today? And here we've got our Aruk's Defender. I guarantee I pronounced that wrong, but it's the Pathfinder version of the Lizard Man. Hopefully we'll be able to get some close-ups of these. Afterwards, that's the Dustwalker Ghost Hunter. This one looks really cool. I don't know why, but this is what a troll would look like in my opinion. It's got the blue-like skin, and this is nice. I really like this one. It doesn't have a name per se, but it's just a blood ball. It's a really cool effect, and I need some more miniature effects. This one is kind of funny. It's an enlarged Draugr. So you guys know for a fact I gotta do something with all these Draugrs. She looks a little bit angry. If you liked that video, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you guys later.